Hello, hello, and welcome to the Experience Bar Happy Hour podcast. Pull up your stools, get excited. This is episode number 11. We want to say thank you for joining us for tonight, and we have an awesome show for you. This is, again, the Happy Hour podcast, part of the www.theexperiencebar.com, and be sure to follow us, find us on iTunes. If you're finding this on iTunes, we want to say thanks for joining us, and remember to check out the site, because that's where you'll find all the articles and what we do when we're not talking our heads off on this podcast. So, without further ado, why don't we meet our barkeeps? As always, I am Justin LaForge, and with me we have Sean Roslin.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
We have Danny White.
Hey!
Aston Reyes.
Sup?
And guest starring today, we also have Kevin. Kevin, why don't you tell us a little about yourself, starting with your full name?
Yeah, because apparently it's not down there at the bar. My full name is Kevin Elgato, and I live here in Winter Park, Florida.
Oh, wow. How's the weather in Weather Park?
Oh, God, please make it stop.
Sorry.
If you know, Florida weather, it's bipolar. 1 minute it's clear as day, and then the next minute it's like a hurricane.
I feel like that's a song.
And somebody's actually on a later time zone than I am right now, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you have no excuse. So, again, we want to welcome you here, and we'll start off, and mainly we start off the show now with the games on the menu for this week, and we have some pretty cool games coming out today. This week, and so starting with that, we have the big thing coming Tuesday, Grand Theft Auto 5. Lots of people excited for this. The line at midnight is going to be huge. What do you guys think? Who's pre-ordered it?
Yeah, I have it pre-ordered. I'll be picking it up Tuesday. I don't know if I'm gonna go at midnight or not, but I'm definitely getting it. So.
No money, can't pre-order things.
I have it downloaded, or I bought it on the Sony store, so I'm gonna be downloading it come 12:01. I don't understand why they can't let me download it, but they lock the content. That would be much nicer.
No, they did that before.
Yeah, they did that, and then all those files leaked. So
that's the reason why, because they did it initially, and then people are
I felt
it.
like that would be the reason, but I still want it to happen because convenience. That would be nice.
Well, blame the people that take those and then crack the encryption.
Yeah.
Besides, it's more incentive to go to the midnight premieres. I mean, they spend a lot of money on that. You want people to go to them.
Oh yeah, midnight premieres are some of the best things out there.
Or they can also just meet halfway, and you can download halfway, and then you have to download the other.
Meet halfway, Aston. Have you not heard of capitalism?
I don't know.
No, isn't capitalism though?
Kevin. Sorry, I agree with Kevin. I think midnight releases are fun to go to. I don't go to all of them. It's fun. So.
Sean, you're kind of bugging out there, so.
Yeah, became a robot for a little bit.
Yeah.
It's okay. You're just doing that auto tune. You're trying to beat Lil Wayne out for his job.
Yeah.
So we're gonna start calling him Lil Sean.
Yeah, Lil Sean.
Isn't there a rapper called Lil Sean?
Maybe, I don't know. Moving on. What else?
Now
is
there's a game journalist called Lil Sean. And then we'll also have this week is coming out is Infinity Blade 2 is going to be out this week.
You mean 3?
Or 3, sorry. I'm not really into this.
Did we go back to 2011?
Can we?
So you can.
I know how all the stocks will react, and then I can become rich.
Right.
Well,
basically, sell before the iPhone 5C announcement.
Absolutely.
Well, with this, you can get your fix on all things swiping and/or tapping. So
that is not fruit.
That is not fruit related.
It's not Fruit Ninja.
I don't know. I like
Infinity Blade just like Fruit Ninja, but with armor.
No, I mean, there's strategy to it. I've played
Yeah.
countless
I know.
hours
I've played a
on the
little bit
first
of
one.
it.
It's the same thing as like the what is it? The DC Injustice mobile app where it's like it's all just swipe-based fighting, and I mean, to me it's like just like here, look at our engine, it's so cool.
It's so pretty, but you know.
I think you have to adapt your control scheme to fit on a touch-based platform. And there are games that do it well, like Super Hexagon. It's like you touch the left side of the screen, you touch the right side of the screen, that's it. Or Infinity Blade does it well. Jetpack Joyride, it's just touching the screen. So some of them are better than others.
It lends itself to that's a whole nother topic. It's the idea of what you can do on a touch screen and what can you afford to do in a game. So games like Infinity Blade that are trying to be like a full-fledged console experience on a phone is going to be difficult because of the lack of controls. So.
Yeah, well, virtual buttons suck, so I'd much rather they keep doing that. So.
Yeah, I just feel like it's a game that wishes it was something else, but is stuck on a phone. And that's...
One day I'm going to be a real game.
One day I'm going to have a game on a Maker console instead of being on a phone.
I just love Apple because they're like, this is their game that they sell their systems with. Like, this is what they view as like the ultimate game.
Well, it's phone graphics porn. That's what it is.
Yeah,
so
yeah, exactly. But
this other than 5S.
other than phone porn graphics, I guess. Coming out this week is the HD remake of the Wind Waker Legend of Zelda on the Wii U.
And we're going back in time once again.
To clarify, we're in 2013, right?
Yes. Yes. This is the HD remake.
I thought it wasn't coming out till October.
It is saying here that it's releasing September 20th.
Oh, you know what? That might be just the digital version.
There's a hard drive on the Wii U?
No, you can. It works like a PS3. You can plug in any hard drive and use it.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Says the only guy who owns a Wii U on the podcast.
Yeah, pretty much.
Are you the only guy that owns a Wii U on the podcast or in the entire continental U.S.?
I might end up owning one once that Sonic game comes out, so...
No, I know a friend who has one, so there's probably just two on the continental U.S.
Two. Okay, my bad, Sean.
Those sales have really gone up.
Yeah.
They doubled, in fact.
Yeah.
You guys like the
We're looking at a 100% increase in sales, so...
What was that, Sean?
I'm sorry, do you guys like the Wind Waker?
I love it. I love the Wind Waker.
Great game. Never finished it, unfortunately.
Same. I never finished it, but I also don't see the point of the HD when I can play it on my Wii with my component cables. But
well, it's still rendering, and they have increased graphical effects, and it's rendering
I know.
natively. So,
That's
but
I mean,
I agree with you, Aston. I've played it with component cables. It does look excellent. So
yeah, cell shaded just works really well with upscaling, ridiculously well with upscaling. So
Yeah, I heard the sailing is actually a lot faster. So I think that was one of the reasons. Yeah, they were like, the sailing's fun, but maybe we could be a tiny bit faster so that people don't castrate us.
I would always leave the sailing and then go to the bathroom, and then I'd come back, and then something would be happening, like pirates are trying to kill me or something, and I'm just like, darn it! And the times that I actually wait, nothing happens, so I'm just like, damned if you do, don't.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to be the first one to say that HD remakes are awesome because I got Shadow of the Colossus HD remake and I got the Beyond Good and Evil HD remake, and those are both fantastic. So I'm excited for this one.
I think the only HD remix I didn't personally enjoy was the Zone of the Enders one because the frame rate dropped considerably because I think on the PS2 it ran at 60 frames per second, I think it was. And then on the PS3 and Xbox 360, it ran considerably slower, so you could definitely tell when there was, especially in Zone of the Enders 2, there was so many enemies on screen, the frame rate just ended up lagging so
I thought
much.
they patched that on the PS3 version though. Just like a couple weeks ago, they said
I heard
they
about
doubled
that.
the frame rate.
Yeah, they just fixed it, but when I got it, it was about like 4 months ago. So I just went from what I experienced, but hopefully I can buy it again for the PS3 and see how it is.
So I think the PS3 is the only one they patched though. They didn't patch the 360.
Ooh.
Konami.
Yeah.
Well, they did the same thing with Silent Hill 2 and 3. Like those games were broken when they came out, and they fixed them on PS3, but not on 360. So
They probably don't have enough people on those consoles with those games to
I think
justify.
it's just they're a
pushing that
Japanese company, and they don't think that they don't care about 360. Period. So
and that, And I don't think that 360 cares either, so it works out.
yeah.
So what other games are coming
Yeah,
out?
well, I was just about to say, returning to the world of phones, we have Angry Birds Star Wars coming out
2.
as well, and that's Angry Birds Star Wars 2.
Episode
Justin
2.
is the man who can never remember what sequel we're on.
Like, and we're gonna get Metal Gear Solid 3. No.
I'm
Guys,
just
talking
trying to-
about Grand Theft Auto 3 today.
I'm just trying to increase the sales of the older ones. That's what I'm doing. Trying to perk those up. But
Is that your excuse?
Yeah, I mean, this one, if you're a fan of overused genres being put into overused games, sorry, I'm a little biased. But I heard nothing but good things about actually the Star Wars Angry Birds games. But they're a certain big cash cow, so that's good for them. But yeah, and then also we have a couple other games that I did not make graphics for, but we coming also is the Wonderful 101. That release date is Tuesday, or actually, no, that's today. Yeah, it comes out the 15th.
Yeah, Nintendo does Sunday release day.
That's right.
That's
So,
coming-
Wonderful 101.
Like that.
And then also coming out is the Metro Last Light Developer Pack. That's coming the 17th, and that's for PC, PS3, and Xbox 360. And that's going to give the developer tools that they tested the game with to the community, so that they can test all the crazy guns that were supposed to go in the game, or all the different monsters and stuff. That sounds pretty interesting.
Yeah, I want to see what people come up with that.
Yeah. So that could be cool. I never actually played Metro. I've always wanted to get to it, but it's definitely on my list. So if you think that I should play it, send me a tweet at my Twitter handle
don't get away
above
from
my head.
Amnesia. Don't get away from that.
Well, yeah, we got to get that to 100 likes. That might actually happen. If you're not familiar with this, on our Facebook page, facebook.com/theexperiencebar, go like us. But we ran a promotion because Amnesia Machine of Pigs came out, and I am deathly afraid of horror games. And so I promised them that if they got my post to 150 likes, that I would play Amnesia in the dark with headphones and live stream the whole thing. And
Which is the only way to play it.
So
I mean, you could also play it with reduced gamma, but yeah, there's there's that too.
You really can. I just played the most recent Amnesia. You even if you wanted to, you can't play it in the daytime.
it just shuts off. It's like, I know what time it is there. It's
Quick
region
question for
locked.
you, Dustin. Were you one of those people that hated the boo levels in Mario games?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
me too.
terrified me.
I'm right there with you. But I just hated it because they annoyed me. but yeah.
Well, the big ghost was coming after you, and you
Yeah,
could get
there's that.
trapped.
Yeah.
So you guys just didn't finish Mario 64 then.
No,
Yeah,
I
no, I
finished
just
Mario
gave up.
64.
No, actually 100% of that game.
So did I. I actually did both the original N64 one and the DS one, both.
I didn't 100% it because my brother sold the game, but yeah, we'll continue. That's just
Aston's still bitter.
Still very bitter.
All right. So what has everyone been playing this week? Kevin, you're new. What we're gonna put you on the spot first here. What games have you been playing this week? Oh, you may have
frozen.
He's
lucky.
petrified by the question.
Oh god.
Maybe it's because he was playing.
I finally got around to playing.
There.
There we go. Or
how about now?
lost audio.
Sorry, technical difficulties for a sec. I think you're good now, Kevin.
You are connected from 4 different points of the world, so.
Yeah, good. Is it all good?
No.
Let's see. Latest game I played, Batman Arkham City.
There you go.
All right.
So is that all working now?
What did you think of it?
Yeah, I think you're good now.
Okay, it's just I didn't know if we were good or not, so it's just awkward. But Batman Arkham City, better in terms of gameplay. Personally, I like the structure of Arkham Asylum more.
Thank you, somebody who agrees with me.
Yeah, it's not saying that like Batman Arkham Asylum or Arkham City is like a bad game or anything like that, because that seems to be something that happens when like when you compare two different things. Like how I enjoy Batman Begins a little bit more than The Dark Knight.
Yes, me too.
Yeah, me
Thank you.
too.
Thank you.
Hey,
It just feels like more of a Batman movie. So don't worry about it. I'm being film school. I'm pretty sure you guys know. It's just like you say one unpopular opinion. It's pretty much like death ray all on.
I'm like, I don't care.
But Arkham City was like, it's big and great and everything, and the combat is super like refined from the first one. But in terms of like story, I found the first one to be just more well structured, because I can't for 1 second believe that Batman's going around going, Alfred, I'm poisoned. Let me go do these Riddler challenges for the next 3 hours. like that was like it was the sense of direction, I think, was the issue, because in Arkham Asylum was kind of like, oh, you're going straight through. You may explore a little bit, but you can come back and get some more things, but you're still going down a straight path.
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. That was always, like, the first Arkham Asylum I would describe as a Metroidvania game, whereas, like, Arkham City is an open-world game. So, structure-wise, they're totally different. Like you said, Arkham Asylum it's a linear story, and there are side paths and you can come back to things, but, like, Arkham City is just kind of like, and you're loose at Arkham City, do whatever you want, like, and it's a great game, like, mechanically, everything's fun about it, but, like, I platinumed Arkham Asylum, and I did all the challenge rooms and everything, and for Arkham City, I played through the campaign, and I did some of the side missions, but I never went back to that game, I don't know, it was great, it was fantastic, and I probably should, because I want to see the rest of the content that I missed, but, like, there was nothing compelling about it,
Yeah, like, I'm trying to go through the Riddler challenges.
I completely disagree with you. I mean, I did everything in Arkham City just because of nerd motivation. I wanted to see every reference to a Batman thing in that game. Like, the Azazel missions, super cool.
I've been trying to fight completionism for some time now, because I used to have it real bad. I used to have to get all the achievements or all the trophies in every
I got that completionism real bad, man.
No, it was bad. So I've been trying to fight that. So, like, that was one of the first games that I, like, put down and was like, you know what, I'm okay just playing through the campaign and that being, like, I enjoyed that experience, and that's what I need out of this game, and I can move on and play other things now. Of course, I've played, like, Persona 3 5 times, but, it doesn't...
This is coming from the guy that played Terminator Salvation for trophies.
That was kind of the turning point, actually. I'm serious. I played it twice because I didn't want to play on hard mode the first time, and it just broke me. I was like, I can't do this.
Well, I'm glad
I remember
you
the day when
found.
you forced me to play it too. That was funny.
Well, I am glad you found your salvation, Sean.
Thanks.
But what are you playing then right now?
Well, I don't know. Did Kevin? Were you playing anything else besides Batman?
No, I'm good. You can go.
Sorry. So yeah, I played and finished Amnesia: A Machine for Pigs. I'm in the process of writing a review. That game is, first of all, if you haven't played, if you have a PC and you haven't, made within the last couple of years, it's not a very intensive game. It runs on OpenGL. Um, if you haven't played the original Amnesia: The Dark Descent, go out, get that. It's on Steam sale all the time. It's fantastic. Even if you don't get it on sale, it's totally worth the $20 it costs. Absolutely fantastic atmospheric horror game. Machine for Pigs is a good game, and it fixes some of the problems that The Dark Descent had, but it also creates problems of its own. So I'm totally happy with the $20 I spent on it, and it was a great experience. But there are definitely things that stand out. Having played the other Amnesia game, that I wasn't a huge fan of, and I'll have a long review on the site. I'm in the process of writing it right now, so it should be up this week. But with my thoughts on that, but it's a great game. I just I haven't. It's not quite as up to snuff as the first one. So.
Yeah, I mean, what doesn't a lot of the complaints do because it feels more like Dear Esther because the developer is different, right? The developer of Amnesia: The Dark Descent was Frictional Games, and then the developer for this one is actually the Chinese Room, and Frictional is just the publisher.
Yeah, that is true. Frictional is the publisher, and Chinese Room, who did Dear Esther, is the developer. And you know what? They actually, it doesn't feel they rendered it in the same engine, the same OpenGL engine that's built the first Amnesia is built on. It feels like Amnesia. It doesn't feel like Dear Esther to me. It has its own feel, and those guys are masters at atmosphere. So the parts that were some of the parts, like the atmospheric stuff that was great about Amnesia, of like being in this really dark, dank place and just the scary, like just most tense atmosphere is absolutely fantastic. The audio design in Machine for Pigs is phenomenal. But it falls apart on some other aspects. They changed some stuff gameplay-wise. In the first game, you had a lantern with limited oil, and you had matches that you had to go and find out so that you could light candles and stuff in the world to turn lights on. And they got rid of both of those elements, so it streamlines the game and it's easier to play. But at the same time, because you're not hunting for like lantern oil and stuff, you're not exploring the world as much as you'd have to. I still went and explored pretty much everything until I got near the end, and I was just trying to finish it. And then the other fact is, so you don't have lantern oil anymore. You can have your lantern all the time, and I feel like they compensated for that by just making the whole game really dark. Like, it no longer forces you to... The other thing is they took away the sanity element, which I thought was one of the most clever things in The Dark Descent. So in The Dark Descent, it's a constant struggle because if you're in the darkness, you start going insane. If you see crazy things, you start going insane. If you go completely insane, you die. So you want to ward off your insanity. If you solve puzzles and stay in the light, you'll keep yourself from going insane. But the monsters can see you in the light, and so you need to hide in the dark. And then on top of that, if you look at them, you'll start going insane. So the whole thing is encouraging you to stay out of the dark, but at the same time you have to hide in the dark, which is your enemy, and you can't look at these monsters. It makes them scarier than they actually are. Because when you actually get to look at the monsters, they're not that scary. Whereas in Machine for Pigs, I can turn off the lantern, and they're not going to see you in the dark. The AI is very similar to the first one. I could like walk up to the monsters practically as long as my lantern was out, and they wouldn't really see me. And you could just sit there and stare at them. I mean, they're not. It takes away some of the fear factor. If you're playing it like the first Amnesia and you have these things in your head of the first Amnesia, I gotta hide. It does help to postpone that sort of where it falls apart for you. But at a certain point, you're just kind of like, yeah, okay, it's one of these guys. I'm just going to go around him. It's not really a challenge. It's not frightening the way... The enemies aren't... They no longer become a threat. And until you get some more varying enemy type. There's a type at the end of the game that is actually threatening. But
all right, well, I'm gonna cut you off there, because
sorry,
we're
and then the other thing I finished. Yeah, you can read my review for the whole description. But the other thing is I just today finished Persona 4 Golden on my Vita. And it's phenomenal, and I love Persona, but I've said that a million times on this podcast, so continue.
Yeah, because we want to have some time before we jump into the main topic today, and let's see here. So Danny and Aston, quick, if you go over what you played today, maybe if it was different, or Danny?
Yeah, I picked up DuckTales Remastered for the PS6.
Nice!
Yeah, no, I love it. I love that series. It entertains me. The only other game that I'm super excited that's downloading in my queue as we speak is Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons, I believe.
I'm really interested in that.
Oh my gosh, it looks so pretty.
Yeah.
So excited.
It seems like the puzzles are really simple, but like I kind of want to try it out anyway. Just
yeah, well, I'll tell you how it is next week. But yeah, no, I'm super excited. I love the feel of it at the moment, just looking at the trailers and everything. So.
Huh.
I've only heard good things about that game, so.
Yeah.
All right. What about you, Aston?
So my Ouya is full, so I haven't really been playing.
You've been busy.
So I have,
well, clearly not too busy if it's full.
More or less like the first week I had it. It only has an 8 GB hard drive. And you can't install anything on a USB like hard drive when you connect to it. So
unlike the Wii U.
They said that they're working on it, but it's Ouya, so we don't have no idea when that's going to happen. They also said that OnLive was going to be supported from out of the box on launch, and that never happened, so you have to sideload it. So the Ouya's been sitting there not doing nothing. I loaded up a bunch of emulators and tested out that.
I love this though. I think this is the console war that no one's been paying attention to is the Wii U versus the Ouya. This is the like side war that no one knows.
What the war?
We do have a new contestant in that war, and that's going to be the PlayStation, the Vita TV. But that's a little different.
That's
the Invisible War.
We didn't talk about that last week, did we?
No, we never got around to it.
But we can go into it later. Aside from that, I did end up getting Grand Theft Auto 4 because me and my buddy, we've been looking at these mods for Grand Theft Auto 4 in preparation for Grand Theft Auto 5. So we got the Iron Man mod, we got the Hulk mod, and we played them ridiculously, like, to no end, and it's ridiculous fun. I feel that Rockstar should make an Avengers game. I feel like whoever made those mods should be hired and be making an Avengers game.
Maybe they are. Maybe
they are, because like it is ridiculous how well thought out those mods are. You can download pretty much when you download the mod, at least for Iron Man, you have all the armor, like from Mark 1 to Mark whatever, like all the way, all the different like. So and not only that, you can spawn enemies. And as well as allies. So there's a moment in time when I'm playing and I keep on spawning allies, and it honestly looks like Iron Man 3, with like all the suits all around me, and we're all in the air, and we're all shooting things. Like, it is ridiculous that it's a mod.
You don't actually want Grand Theft Auto 5. You just want
I
Avengers,
honestly just bought it just for the mods, because I was never really a huge fan of Grand Theft Auto 4. I thought it was wavering between the lines of like trying to be serious and trying to be comical, and that didn't bode well with me. And then I ended up liking Saints Row more. But with the mods, you get back that fun aspect with the Rage engine, with all these things, and it's ridiculous fun. If you guys have a copy of Grand Theft Auto 4 on the PC, that is definitely something that you need to look into and play with it.
Well, that's an awesome segue into our main topic for today. If you don't know, is Grand Theft Auto 5, and basically the whole Grand Theft Auto series. We're going to be talking about each one of our favorite moments, or how we dealt with the Grand Theft Auto series and stuff. And we're also going to be asking you questions. So right now, we have. If this obeys me.
The technology.
This was going to be super cool, and now it's going to be not.
Quick, vamp!
Well, that's not cool. Well, here's the thing. So during our podcast, we're going to be talking about these things. We're going to be talking about Grand Theft Auto. We want to know your stories, though. So send in your stories to the Twitter account at the EXP Bar. Message them. Send us what your favorite moment is, or ask a question like, say like, what do you like more, the story or the wanted levels? Anything. Ask us all. We're going to mention it in the podcast tonight. So send those questions our way. In the meantime, we're going to just go through and go through what our favorite moments were in the Grand Theft Auto experience. And I am going to start because my favorite moments are in Grand Theft Auto 1. I love that series. I love 1.
Silence.
I love 2.
Yeah, because no one played them.
For those that don't know, it's overhead and 2D.
Yes,
by the way,
it's so good.
It's not in 3D.
I loved doing it. My favorite thing would be to like grab the Molotov cocktails and like run up to a bridge because like it was crazy 2D but also different layers. So at least in the second one, and I would just chuck them off the overpass and watch all the cars deal with it. It was the coolest thing, and the best thing in the world is getting on a motorcycle and trying to go as fast as you can down one, like you line it up so you're just on that middle road, so you're going in between the traffic, and you just go as fast as you possibly can until you hit a wall, which is inevitable.
And by the way, this Grand Theft Auto 1 and 2 are free through Rockstar's website. So if you haven't played them, you can go ahead and download them for free over there.
That is
On
our
PC.
gift to you.
Yeah, that's on PC.
Shameless play.
There were also terrible PS1 ports of the first two.
And a Game Boy Color port.
Oh yeah, the Game Boy Color port. That was funny.
God, I forgot about that.
All right. Oh, who's next? Who's jumping in with theirs?
Yeah, I guess I'll
Go,
I
Sean.
feel like I'm monopolizing here, but I can talk about it. The first Grand Theft Auto I really sat down and played was actually Liberty City Stories on PSP.
That was a good game.
You know, it was, and I had never really, like, people were like wild about Grand Theft Auto, and I never really got it. And I was playing, and I was like halfway through the game, and I was playing the missions, and I was going through the story, and I'm like, I don't really get what the huge appeal is. And then I was doing one mission where I was being chased by the cops, and I had like a 4-star wanted level, and I stole a car. So I stole one of the mafia guy's cars that was driving around the city to outrun the police. And when you get in those cars, they're always playing like the classical music station. So, like, I start driving away, and when your wanted level gets high enough, the cop AI just gets kind of crazy. So I'm driving, and like cop cars are like flying off of bridges trying to take me out, and just blowing up everywhere, and everything's going crazy. And in the meantime, like, this classical music is playing, and it's like dinch, 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 and just cars blowing up everywhere. It seemed like it was in time with the music, and I was playing it, and I'm like, okay, I think I get why people like this now, because this is crazy. So, yeah, that was my first major experience with it. I've played most of them, the 3D ones, all of them, actually. I haven't played too much of 1 or 2.
You're missing out.
Yeah, apparently. But you know, I like the series for what it is. I mostly play them for the stories. I'm not big into the just going out and trying to do stupid stuff. But that's just
What
me.
about you, Kevin? What
Iron
was
Man
your
changed
favorite?
what I'm just saying.
I'm kind of the opposite of Sean. While I do like the story of Grand Theft Auto, I'm kind of more that guy who just goes around, hey, let's go blow shit up. And probably my favorite moment was not really what happened in the game, but rather like the environment where I was playing it. Because I think I was like in the 6th grade, and my friend Gino was like, hey, let's go play Grand Theft Auto. And I was like, what, like 11 or 12 at the time? So I'm like, oh, I'm playing a rated M game.
Oh.
I'm such a rebel. And so we all went over there, and all we saw was just mayhem and carnage and cops being blown up. It's like, oh God, pass me the controller. And so pretty much, and we played that whole night, just Grand Theft Auto all night, blowing things up, going around, stealing cars. And that was probably the best moment I had with my friends. And so it wasn't really more of what was happening in the game, but rather the environment where I was playing it. And after that, I think the game I played after that was Grand Theft Auto 4. So it was I haven't played much of the series, but I have played Grand Theft Auto 4, 3, and Vice City. And I'd have to say my favorite in terms of like overall gameplay was 3. Just going around doing whatever that I wanted.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. Aston, did you play China Wars?
I did not. Well, I'll start off with saying that I was never a really huge fan of Grand Theft Auto at all. The only one that I really got into, probably for the same reasons as Sean, is the PSP one, the Liberty City Stories, which is funny because that was like kind of a not many people liked it for some odd reason, but I was just introduced to it more or less, at least on a personal level for me, because I was playing it a lot on that time, but like the farthest I got on my favorite GTA would be San Andreas, but the farthest I got story-wise was when I got to San Fierro, and I pretty much quit every time. Like every time I tried to play again, I would quit at the helicopter part that everyone hated. So pretty much that's the thing with me. So but there are a lot of things that are changing my opinion of Grand Theft Auto 4. Like stuff like the huge map and stuff like the trailers. The trailers set it for me because I'm a huge Red Dead fan, specifically for the story, and it seems like whoever writers that they got for Red Dead or whatever is happening rubbed off on Grand Theft Auto 4 or 5, and it seems like the story in Grand Theft Auto 5 is a lot more appealing to me than the previous Grand Theft Autos.
You know, the story in Grand Theft Auto 4 is actually really good. The problem with Grand Theft Auto 4 is they put too much filler in it. There's an achievement in that game for beating it in under 20 hours. It's either under 20 or under 30. Still a ridiculous amount of time, and I got it, but I literally, I did it in, 2 hours under whatever the limit is, and I skipped every single, any place I had to drive, I just got in a cab and skipped the cab ride to, minimize the amount of time. I did not hang out with friends, I did not do any of the side content, and I just barely made it under there. So, the amount of material in that game that was, not dedicated to the story, it was too much. But the overall story is good. Also, I'm going to make a controversial statement here. I think Chinatown Wars is actually the second best Grand Theft Auto game they've made to date.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
Just from a pure gameplay standpoint, it's probably the most fun I've had playing a GTA, with the exception of Vice City, which is probably my favorite. So.
And True Crimes is crying in the corner now. So.
What about you, Danny? What was your favorite moment from Grand Theft Auto?
This is when I get judged. I've never played a Grand Theft Auto game in my life.
So your favorite moment was no moment.
My favorite moment is watching the internet explode with controversy after one of them's released and the subsequent lawsuits that follow.
That is a good point.
My favorite moments of Grand Theft Auto.
Those are everyone's favorite moments.
Maybe I'll change your mind.
No, I find it fascinating the amount of controversy that comes up over Grand Theft Auto games, considering there are games that are much more disturbing out there.
Much worse.
Yeah, but they don't have the massive sell of Grand Theft Auto series. Well,
I mean, it's the same argument with Mass Effect and how it was being called a sex simulator because of that one.
But Mass Effect didn't have a $246 million lawsuit go up against it.
True.
No, it just had Fox News
let's
calling
be honest
it a sex
about
box.
this.
It's just funny that is being considered a sex simulator when Indigo Prophecy, which was a PS2 game that didn't really it was Quantic Dreams. It was actually what's his face?
David
Cage.
Yeah, David Cage. It was his game, and I love that game. I love that more than Heavy Rain. But it was basically his precursor to Heavy Rain. And in that game, you can press up and down and have sex with a girl.
That was cut out in the U.S. release, though.
Yeah, but still.
I hear that's how that actually works, though. That's what I've been told, is that it's just you go up and down.
You literally just press up and down.
That's what we do.
I'm not even going to comment on this.
To my next girlfriend, I brought my keyboard to my girlfriend. I was like, I'm ready, but
You mean,
I don't think she understood.
there's no button?
The hot coffee incident with Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, and that one you press up and down too, right?
No,
I think it was like
just
multiple
happens.
buttons or something.
That one had different buttons.
Oh my god.
Well, those were some of our favorite moments. We're gonna get into more discussion on some of this.
Pressing
I'm
up and
sure.
down?
But we asked you what your favorite moments are, and I have a couple favorite moments from our viewers here, and I wanted to share them with the rest of the podcast. Remember, if you have questions, comments, statements, shout-outs,
Deepest
I don't
fears
know,
in your dark secrets.
expletives to yell, send them at the XP Bar, or find us on Facebook at facebook.com/theexperiencebar, or just on our website. Any of the comics, we'll find you, we'll respond to you, we'll put you on the podcast like Kevin here.
It's like we have the power of the NSA, but not.
Oh god.
But we have here from Jeremy Madas, I believe that's how I'm saying it right, and his favorite moment was grabbing a golf cart, a golf outfit, a golf club, and going on a killing spree. I think he just wanted to role play as Tiger Woods.
Oh,
Oh,
bad
that was too
joke.
soon. I'm sorry.
No.
Well, it depends. Well, there are
depends.
hookers, so
He's a
I
good
guess it
golfer.
could be.
He's a good
Are we
golfer.
gonna commence with the various jokes about holes and making them?
No. Clearly, it's just about the up and down action.
Oh,
Well, we have another couple moments here from a Ryan at RyanQV117 from Twitter. He mentioned that his favorite moment is the Grand Theft Auto San Andreas mission, where it's called Black Project, where you have to steal the jetpack.
you know, we
Does
should have
anyone
had
remember
Ryan
that?
on this podcast again because he is a massive GTA fan.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
He's a friend of the
So-
show, Ryan Becerra.
He was on the podcast earlier a while back. So yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was on with you that
Oh,
one.
wait, yeah, I remember.
Time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he actually plays a lot. Like he plays Hitman, he plays Splinter Cell, he plays.
Oh god, maybe we shouldn't have him on. He'll just rival
This-
Sean, and then it'll be the Sean and Ryan show.
Yeah, I guess I should have mentioned this beforehand, that this is actually someone that is a good friend of ours. So if you're confused on why we're talking about this, yeah. But the question was that his favorite moment
He
was
has
that
a Twitter.
I believe he just made it. But the moment,
Because I follow him on Twitter.
Okay.
that-
Or maybe
Moving
not.
Moving on.
all
I
right.
follow him right
Well,
now.
we have another comment here
No.
from a different person. We have Jeremy again wrote in. Jeremy, he said via Twitter. You can follow him there at. Oh, the Twitter's cut off there. At DMIRAL_Akbar. So that's Admiral Akbar with the at symbol being the A. Pretty
Are
clever.
you sure it's not a
I
trap?
liked it. It also is a trap. But his favorite moment was when he figured out that you can drive faster in the tank if you turn the cannon around backwards and shoot it behind you. Pro tips. Yes.
I actually have kind of a funny story about that. I was playing Gears of War 2 with a buddy of mine, and I had to go to the bathroom, and we're in this segment where you're in the tank, and he was controlling the turret, and I was controlling the driving. So I just planted in a relatively safe spot, and he was shooting all the guys. So I go to the bathroom, I come back, and he is halfway up the hill from where we were. It turns out he'd killed all the guys, and he turned the turret around and just started shooting himself up the hill with the cannon because he was bored of waiting for me to get back from the bathroom.
And then he couldn't be bothered with just picking up the other controller.
No. We were playing online, so he
Oh,
couldn't
gotcha.
actually move the tank. So he just he came up with his own solution. So
It's clever. Very clever. Yeah.
it's funny. That's my tank story.
I feel like every one of us, once you've come across that revelation, the turret can move the tank, you're like, oh my gosh, This is the best thing ever.
Yeah, little game like exploits are usually fun. It's sometimes necessary in GTA games specifically. They get janky enough that sometimes you do need exploits to continue.
Summon all guns. So that's what I would do with like the older GTAs, like 1 and 2. I believe there were like hacks that you could put in to like summon specific cars and specific weapons.
Well, in GTA 4 they had those too. You just type them into your cell phone. They're cheat codes. So
Yeah. I thought the majority of the Grand Theft Autos had that, didn't they?
they did, but they just integrated it a little better in GTA 4.
Your cell phone in the game, not your cell phone.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah.
Pull out
It
your
wasn't
cell
the-
phone.
It wasn't the
You
first
pull out your
Surface
app.
interface.
No.
Oh,
That actually
well,
kind of would be pretty cool if they did that. For Grand Theft Auto 5, you can pull out your cell phone and then put it in the...
But Sean would hate that. That's integrating mobile.
yeah.
I would feel like it's excessive. Like, why can't I just play the game? Like, why do I need to? I don't know. That's just
And you
me,
say
though.
that, and
You
then
and
you
your
would, like, the
damn
next
kids
podcast.
with your mobile devices getting in the way of my games.
We've had this discussion. I'm not gonna justify it anymore. Aston, you.
Sean, the Gran Torino of video games.
Get off my lawn.
Are you gonna
Uh,
shoot me?
Aston, so your favorite one is San Andreas, and
Yes.
you and I disagree on this because I don't like the goofy stuff in GTA. I prefer the more serious stuff, and obviously you're the opposite. You're trying to save thrill.
Don't get me wrong. I like the serious stuff. I loved the beginning of San Andreas with the storyline with what's his name? Johnson. What's his last person?
CJ?
Yeah, like where he's coming from like jail, like he's going into his house, he's having flashbacks, and then on top of that, like the gang turns on him, and then there's people backstabbing. Like I really loved that aspect. But there's a way to distill it, you know? There's a way to make it work correctly, I guess. And for me, for Grand Theft Auto 4, it just seemed like it kept on like zigzagging instead of trying to be like more like integrated with both aspects. But yeah.
No, I definitely see that for sure. 4 had a hard time straddling that line between comedy and seriousness.
I think
Yeah.
the main thing that Grand Theft Auto kind of struggled with is, to me, I think the game itself, especially 4, is 2 different games, because the story is one of very serious. It's dealing with the drugs. You know, you can't really. You have to be Nico in order to be that story. Like, Nico has his own like path. He'll do whatever he does in those cutscenes. But then when you get into the game, you have full choice. You have full, you can go anything, kill anybody. You can obey every street law. Like, you can stop at every stop sign if you want, and like you can be that, peacekeeping person until Nico has to do something that he does. So I think it has a very interesting, weird problem with player agency and stuff, and I feel like a lot of people have that issues. What do you guys think?
Yeah, it's actually, this has come up before. The phenomenon is called ludonarrative dissonance, and what it is there's a split between what the character has to do in the storyline and the fact that Nico, like, so in a cutscene, Nico, I had to kill people. It was awful. And then you can walk out in the street with a rocket launcher and blow up 10 cars. Like, yes, it has to be a game at some point, but it does present a problem.
I don't know. Would you like to see more player choice in the game? Send your response to our Twitter account. This is another good one, because I want to know this from our community. Do you think that the game would be better if your choices decided how Nico played out in those narratives? Or do you think you like it better with the Nico is a strong character, they can write him how they want him to go, and his storyline set? And which do you hope it to be in Grand Theft Auto 5 with these 3 awesome characters? So what do you guys feel?
I think actually that's some of what they're trying to solve with GTA 5 because they have 3 characters that have different personalities. So if you want to just dick around and do crazy shit, that's what Trevor's for. Like, his character already exemplifies that kind of crazy behavior. And then they've got Michael, who's kind of like, if you want to do, like, just the weird, like, golfing and things like that. Like, you never do that with CJ in GTA San Andreas. But then if you want to do, like, gang raids and stuff like that, that's what you know what, what's the third guy's name? The black guy?
Third guy.
The third
I'm
guy.
not being racist. I just
I
don't
know
remember his
him
name.
by
Sorry.
I know him by he's Speak No Evil instead of Hear No Evil or See No Evil.
That's
I
right.
didn't even make that connection, but that makes so much sense.
I feel terrible. I don't remember his name. I need to.
All I know
I
is
actually didn't remember any of their names.
I don't remember.
Yeah, the only one I know is Trevor.
Trevor's the white, like the main white guy, right?
No,
The
he's
first
the
guy.
crazy
No,
one.
he's a crazy one.
Trevor.
Oh,
Yeah,
he's the
Trevor's
crazy
the
one.
local.
Okay, but the white guy that was like he was the first trailer, right? Like the father and whatnot.
No, that's Michael. Franklin would be the name of the.
Yeah, that's what I was.
I apologize.
So I've got a
But yeah,
question.
I think it's.
Oh.
Sorry. Go ahead.
It's okay. I'm totally going to deviate, so if you need to finish a thought.
No,
you
no,
can do
no. I was just gonna reiterate what I said. So.
Okay, great. So deviating, I haven't played them, but I did do research, so I wouldn't be completely left out of the dark in this. And I was looking at the sales figures because that's what I do, and because I'm a spaz like this. And you know, it seems interesting that Grand Theft Auto has been overwhelmingly bought on PlayStation consoles. Do you guys think that's a trend that will continue for the next one?
Well, certainly with this Grand Theft Auto bundle for the PlayStation 3, what is it, 200 gigabyte PlayStation 3?
Oh yeah, something like that.
Bundled with the Grand Theft Auto 5. I think that's a cool bundle if you've never had a PS3.
Yeah, I keep seeing it on like my PSN little news feed. I'm like, no, I need to save money.
Well, I think the thing that also makes a difference is because it made a big difference back when it first came out in Grand Theft Auto 4. How are they going to perform? Because the thing was, like, the general consensus was that the Xbox version was better because of the fact that it was 720p instead of like some kind of smaller resolution that was like custom that was like 640 something on the PS3. But then I personally thought that the PS3 handled itself better in terms of like processing power and like it didn't like get stuck a lot in my opinion. So it's a toss up.
Actually,
with, like, how it works out. What?
If you go on Digital Foundry, if nobody's ever been there, it's a site called digitalfoundry.eurogamer.net. It's a portion of Eurogamer. They do all these kinds of breakdowns for video games and stuff like that. So technical stuff, they're really technical articles. A lot of that stuff is like I'm looking at them like what? But they did a great breakdown for Grand Theft Auto 4, and you're right. On PS3, it does run at some sub HD resolution. It's not full 720p, but it runs smoother on there's VSync is engaged on the PlayStation 3 version, so it feels smoother and it runs at a more consistent frame rate, whereas the 360 frame rate was all over the place and VSync wasn't engaged, so you get tearing all the time. So it just generally had a little better presentation, even though it was running at a lower resolution.
Yeah, I mean, I've been talking to a couple people who only have Xboxes right now, and I've been telling them, like, come this day, you're going to get a PS3 with the GTA 5 bundle, and then you're also going to pick up Last of Us and Beyond Two Souls, and then you're going to be set.
Yeah,
but realistically, who's going to buy a PS3 when the next gen's coming out so close?
A lot of people.
Really?
Yeah, actually, I think
I don't know. That's weird to me, but
think about PS2.
Hope one pre-ordered
right now, an iPhone 5 instead of a 5C or a 5S. So.
I mean, think about PS2. PS2 did well into PS3's lifetime.
They stopped making the PS2 last year.
Yeah, last year. That's what it's like.
Right, but that was partly because of the price point of the PS3. I mean, the PS3 came out and it was so overpriced for what it should have been at that time.
So you don't expect them to drop the price on the PS3? I fully expect.
I expect them to drop it, absolutely,
sells,
but I don't know. It seems weird to me. I don't know.
I feel like after this holiday season, we're going to see a $99 SKU for the PS3. I really
Oh
do.
yeah,
should've waited.
absolutely.
I should have waited then.
Craigslist.
Well, yeah, I mean, that bundle is $269.99, so $270
yeah.
for a PS3 and a copy of Grand Theft Auto. That's
Doesn't it also come with a headset?
pretty good. I mean, yeah, I think so. It's half the price of a PS4. So I mean, if you're walking in there and you don't have a game console and you're like, oh, I wanted this PS4, but I don't have a lot of money. I'm just gonna get this PS3. Look at all these great games for it.
Yeah,
Or,
no,
I mean,
there's plenty
and
of
that's
people who
it's
do
still
that.
working for the Xbox 360 too. Like they launched their lower price point, like the Elite, I guess.
Right. Well, I don't. If you've never, I don't know. It made sense in my head. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I was in GameStop. Oh, God, what was it? And
All
here's
that
the other
matters to me
thing.
is the PC version, so I can play Iron Man.
GTA
On
5
God,
is not coming out on next-gen consoles, at least not yet. They haven't announced anything. So I was in GameStop a couple days ago, and somebody was like, well, can I get... I was just going to get GTA 5 on Xbox One, and they're like, oh, no, it's not coming for Xbox One. And they were like, oh, and they actually ended up buying a
Pre-order.
Xbox 360 to play it on because they didn't realize it wasn't coming for the Xbox One. So
Damn.
Does anyone know if there is a PC version coming out? Because that's
I
what
think
my
there
friend
was
is
a
asking ever
petition for
since
it.
the mods.
Yeah, there was a petition for it, but I'm still not sure if like they're actually gonna make one.
I
They
really
made
hope that it
one-
doesn't end up like Red Dead, where like they were
Red
like,
Dead's the
Nope.
only game they haven't made one for, so...
yeah, they were like,
I know.
nope, we're not making one. We're not making a PC one, even though everyone wants one. But yeah, my friend is definitely like, they better make it for PC. They better make it for PC so that we can mod it and play Iron Man on Grand Theft Auto 5. Like,
It has a legacy on PC. It would be strange for them not to. Much like Max Payne 3, like that game obviously is a console game. In fact, I played it on console and it looks gorgeous on consoles. But Max Payne is a PC shooter franchise. Like it's been stapled in PC. So
I'm wondering
same
how
with
it's going
GTA.
how it's going to perform because it's not exactly like I got Grand Theft Auto 4 on PC recently, right? I loaded it on my Surface and it chokes on the Surface. Now my Surface can play Crysis and BioShock Infinite on high settings.
GTA 4 is terribly optimized. It always has been.
Yeah,
since
exactly.
it
So
came out.
and that's what I mean by like, you know, mods are great. Mods are amazing, but I'm wondering if they can pull it off with decent, like enough frame rates with a mid-range sect to be worthwhile for PC, you know?
You know, I have a super high-end PC that I built, so I'm running a GTX 670 in mine, so it's not, and it's overclocked, so it's not really a valid comparison. But back when I was, you know, a couple generations ago on graphics cards, when I just had like a mid-range graphics card, you know, I did have the opportunity to run LA Noire and it ran fine, so hopefully they've improved that, but that was a different engine too, wasn't it?
Wait, LA Noire was on PC?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
only
and-
game
yeah.
Rockstar never put out on PC was Red Dead Redemption, so...
Yeah, okay.
And I believe
Yeah.
LA Noire was on a different engine.
So I
Yeah,
want to
it
throw
would- it
out
would
one
have
last
been for that
quick
tech,
question before we're out of time here, and that is this: we have not seen a GTA in a long time. In that time, a new franchise has grown up to be the superpower in the consoles, and that is Call of Duty. This is the first GTA to come out since that Mega Goliath has been there, and I think we're going to see some really high sales in GTA and I will be really interested to see how it does compared to Call of Duty.
I don't
You-
think it'll outsell Call of Duty, but I think it'll do really well. The thing GTA has going for it is last time GTA came out, it was 2008. So the HD consoles, if you had a PS3, you at max had it 1 year. If you had a Xbox, you could have had it up to 2 years at that point. But most people didn't have HD consoles; they were still playing on PS2 or stuff like that. The install base is so big on these consoles now. So many people have them, and people continue to buy them. And they've been out for so long that I think the potential for GTA to sell 10 million copies in the first week is not in question at all. So.
Are we taking bets on number of copies sold first week?
Well, I want to say that, like, I think the issue, or not the issue per se, but like the difference in my opinion is that, and this is a kind of really messed up reasoning, and I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but I think it's easier to sell Call of Duty than it is Grand Theft Auto, because Grand Theft Auto has always had a bad image with the press, and how many 12-year-old kids can convince their father to buy a World War simulator? Like,
Yeah.
that's
I
Yeah,
also
I agree with
had
that
that
one.
when I was in GameStop.
Yeah.
Like a group of teenagers came in, they're like, "Oh, I wonder if I can get somebody to buy it for me." Kind of just stood there
Yeah.
rolling my eyes, but
Well,
No.
let's see. This is what they're predicting for the sales for Grand Theft Auto. It's saying that it should be between 4 to 5 million for the 360, and then it should be between, where was that? 3.5 to 4.5 for the PS3.
That's
So
actually not bad.
I think it'll be high. Are you saying
Yeah.
first week or
For that opening week, not.
that?
Not-
Yeah, that makes. I would not be surprised if it went over 10 million, but those sound like decent numbers.
Yeah,
I think
I think it'll be somewhere. I think it'll be just short of 10 million. I'm gonna say like between 8 to 9 would be my predictions.
So when you pick up your copy of Grand Theft Auto 5, we should meet up online when that launches, whenever that is.
And play on the stock market.
Yeah.
Play the stock market.
Danny will be on
Actually-
the stock market.
Before we finish, I have one more question. Danny, are you getting Grand Theft Auto 5? Because you've never played a Grand Theft Auto game
Ooh,
before.
this is good.
Oh no.
Let's see. There's a stock market.
There's a stock market. I'll invest. You know what? I'll make the same thing. If my predictions are off, if it sells 10 million copies, I'll buy a copy.
All right.
Tell me, 10
Will
million
you put it over if it's
Why
like
not?
9?
If it, yeah, I'll round up from 9.75.
Okay, sure. All right. I guess it's a bet. Nobody has anything to lose, right? So.
No.
You know, I'll
Well-
play it, and then I'll record my reactions to it because I don't even know.
I believe that you can actually access the websites for the game that are in the game, the like fictional websites, online right now.
Oh,
So
really?
you can like interact with. There's like a fake Facebook that is for all the characters, and you can like their comments and status updates throughout the campaign.
Oh,
So,
that's
Oh, that's awesome.
But yeah,
That was one
so-
of my favorite things in GTA 4. One of the easiest ways to get a 4-star one rating is go to Internet Cafe and look up like a children's beauty pageant site, and it would just be like, this is a restricted site with child pornography. The FBI has been dispatched to your location. Instant 4-star water rating.
All right. Well, that does
By the way,
it for
quick question,
today.
though. Do you guys know if there is a gym in Grand Theft Auto 5 like it was in San Andreas?
I
No
don't
idea.
want to have to work out because I ate too many cheeseburgers.
Well, no. The reason why I asked,
I already have to do that. Like, I don't need to do that in my video games.
the reason why I ask is because my friend
Realism
who's-
plus
who's
one.
going to get Grand Theft Auto 5. Like, he's super buff and works out, and he recently has been really complaining about the gym that we used to go to because of all the fake people that take steroids and are it's a really bad thing going to a
Full
gym.
shark testosterone, man.
So he wants to
Nobody understands
Live
my
the
GTA 4
idea-
voice reaction.
he wants to go and in GTA and just kill everyone in that gym. So yeah.
You have interesting friends, Aston.
You know, when
Alright.
you go to the gym and you see all those fake people, you'll understand. I kind of agree with him. I wouldn't mind doing that myself.
Well, this has been episode 11 of the Experience Bar podcast. Thank you for joining us. Remember, you can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/theexperiencebar. Like us. We are so close to 250, I believe. Love to get over 250. So share it with your friends. That helps so much. We're all working really hard on this site, and you can say that you appreciate the work, and we're always growing it. So send in your comments, likes, concerns. You can also find us at Twitter at @theXPBar, and then you can also catch us on the site and send us an email at podcast@theexperiencebar.com. So all those ways to communicate. we want to hear from you, and we want to thank you for joining us today. Hope you have a great rest of your night, and we'll catch you next week. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.